This episode of Speakers of Hydaelyn is made possible by our generous patrons, like Chris, Tyronius, Dalmud Papodo, Scry Della Rosa, Jamie Assur, Elim, Zasira Fulalirafu, Ariel, Courtney, Dimos, Casey Schaefer, and Omega Cat Comet. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you've ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows your tune. Then a little voice inside you whispers, kid, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to episode 100 of Speakers of Hydaelyn. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by... Have we checked your frame, Yas? Let's
No.
see. Yas Pot.
Hey, we're good.
Oh
we're
my
good.
god. And MAELA VANADAR. It's the three of us
We
today.
did it.
Thanks, Reddit.
We did it, Reddit. 100 episodes. It's I see you in chat saying that I don't wear pants. I actually contemplated doing that. I didn't do it though. So welcome to Speakers of Hydaelyn episode 100. Today we are going to talk about Heaven on High. We're going to discuss Eureka and the Rising event, and of course we're going to reflect a bit. We've done it before. I mean, we celebrated the, what was it, 3-year anniversary last year, I think? Yas wasn't there, so it'll be a trip down memory lane again as well. And then we'll read some Mog Mail. So stay tuned for that at the end of the show, and of course the post show, where we will look back on the post show and how that has evolved.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Devolved, more like.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Some very quick channel update, I guess. Roar Part 2 will be out this week. I said Soar last week. That's of course wrong because I have to finish the Roar special first. And then I will give Soar a facelift because it too needs to be tuned up a bit. It's falling behind. It's very like, it's gone stale as well. So looks like people like what I did with Roar. So if I do that with Soar, everyone's gonna be happy. Right, so let's talk about some quick news updates. Patch 4.35 is here in what is still the weirdest patch cycle I think we've ever been in.
For sure.
Definitely.
We got Heaven on High, but we'll talk about that a little later. We got new Hildebrand quests, which I haven't done, of course.
Me neither.
Yas has done it though.
One.
Yes, I did.
How was it?
It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't blow my socks off. It was there were some funny moments, but I don't know. I think there's been a little bit of luster lost over the years with Hildebrand.
Yeah.
However, there is a character in there. I'm not going to spoil it. There's a character in there that gives me a lot of hope that we may be getting a trial down the line.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about as well. So yeah.
So if that's the case, then I will be very happy.
Yeah. That's yeah. I've heard that from a lot of people that Hildebrand has kind of lost that spark that it had in 1.0 and A Realm Reborn.
I mean, I thought Heavensward was really good.
Uh-huh.
It was because the comedy was really there.
Right.
and I think you interacted with more characters. It really has devolved to pretty much go to a place and watch a cutscene where
Yeah.
you're
Mhm.
barely involved in said cutscene,
Yeah.
which is okay, but it doesn't really feel like you're a part of it.
Right.
Whereas when you're doing trials, or even if you know what I think might make Hildebrand a lot better is solo instances.
Oh yeah.
Throwing a few of those
Yeah.
in there. I think that would make it, because that's my problem with Hildebrand at the moment is I don't really feel involved in it at
Right.
all.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
Okay. But there is hope that something's
Definitely.
going to
I
come
have-
down the line here.
I'm fingers crossed for the trial that I hope happens, because I would be stoked on that trial.
Yeah. That's one of the things that came with this patch. Also, housing items, a lot of otter themed stuff, which I like it, but it's a weird, like, can we ever get too much otter is my question.
I would say no.
Absolutely.
we have like we have the otter mansion. Like, if you have the otter mansion, now we can get like outdoor furniture that are otters, and I think they are the same size as the otters like outside the mansion as well.
Yeah, I think that's why I was confused when I saw it. I was like, don't we already have that? But
Yeah.
it's just attached to the actual housing scheme.
What we need is more Corpica.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
I agree.
And also, I'd quite like a revisit to like Ahriman and pudding stuff. And,
I never really
Because
liked
there
that
is one-
stuff personally.
There's a
but
pudding rug.
they never got like the same treatment these ones get. These are getting everything
Yeah,
up to the
yeah.
everything.
That's true.
Pisces,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's actually a good point. The Armin stuff is ugly because of the stuff they like a bookcase. Who cares?
Yeah,
It's not,
exactly.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pudding house, exactly.
Yeah, what about cactuars? That's a pretty. They really
Yeah, 'cause
don't.
They're huge.
Yeah, and they don't really do much. That's the weird thing is they focus on Moogles a lot, like any Final Fantasy game should. But
Yeah.
there's
Mm.
usually a bigger focus on cactuars in Final Fantasy games. So maybe
Absolutely. And
it's time for some of that.
nothing Tonbury related, really.
That's
That's
true.
a good
Like
point too. Yeah,
lanterns.
yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the lanterns.
There, yeah.
So, yeah, more of everything.
More of everything,
Just make more of
please.
everything.
They made some PvP adjustments. We're not going in there because it's
Please,
every
can we go
patch
deep
now.
into each stat?
Season something
by stat.
started.
back and
7.
forth, whatever. They also, again, the Crystal Tower training grounds, more adjustments to placement, whatever. I lost interest when they stopped randomizing the arena.
Exactly. They made a really cool arena and ruined it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They have changed the matching algorithms for the feast, so I guess that means
I'm thinking that that's going to make the queues longer, not shorter.
Brilliant.
Because
Great.
I think they're trying to match you up with people more equal to your level.
yeah.
Because they've been trying to do that over time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're in a bronze match and you're fighting a gold. No,
Yes,
that's awful.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
with the amount of people who actually PvP, you'll have a much greater chance of getting a queue pop at like no level than at
Yeah.
the top then, because
yeah, that's true.
no
Yeah.
one's going to play at the top hardly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the feast is now in pre-season as well, so why would you do anything now? And so that's PvP, folks.
Yep.
System
We did it.
adjustments were also made. Now you get a warning if you attempt to place items in the Dome and Enclave's donation box that exceeds the weekly budget. So it
That was already there, wasn't
no,
it?
it does it when you because the old system was like you put the stuff in and then you got the warning when you were going to proceed.
Right.
Now it's
Right.
going to warn you when you put an item in, and it's like this is
Oh,
going to exceed the
all right.
limit.
That's a good change.
Yeah. So the new search window, have you used it yet? I haven't either. I just as I wrote down these show notes, I'm like, wait, I haven't used this feature yet. It's probably working. I haven't heard anyone like say anything bad about it, so I'm assuming it's a good
The
change.
only complaint I've heard is that, like most things, it doesn't retrieve your retainers' names or anything when you're in like an
Oh.
instance or something.
All right.
But that's
Right.
pretty minor.
Okay. But did it do that before in the chat?
No, no, no.
Yeah, the chat thing still. I don't think it retrieved your retainers' names.
Oh,
in-
okay.
in
I've actually never
instances.
searched for anything in a dungeon. Okay. So that's that. That's all we got in that patch. of course, the big question now is when do we get Eureka? But we'll talk about that when we talk about it. Now we're going to talk about Heaven on High, which of course is the star of the patch. Let's talk about. There's a lot to talk about. Let's talk about just the launch day first, because it was an interesting day. It was first of all, my biggest there were some trolls. Apparently, you could put people would go on their elephant mounts and stand on top of the NPC, so you couldn't click the NPC. So you had to zoom in. I think
could you still mash
use,
zero?
I think so. I just zoomed in and clicked. It was fine. But a lot of people didn't know that was a thing, and they were like, "You're ruining my life." It was kind of entertaining too. I'll say that. But then turns out Demi Bahamut won't leave in Heaven on High.
Yeah. Funny enough, right as soon I was like, I did 10 floors the first day, and I was like, oh, that was fun. I'll do more.
Yeah.
You will not do more.
Yeah, closed. Closed for a while too. It went down for a while.
It was most of the night, right? Or it was night for me, I guess.
I can't remember how long it was down, but it was several hours. And it's fixed now, I think. So it's all good. But it was just that was a weird bug. How that happened. Must have something to do with the mobs. Maybe the dungeon counted Demi Bahamut as a mob and not a.
Yeah, it's weird. Did they not test it on Summoner?
Do you know they never test?
Yeah.
They let the main servers are the public test servers.
Right,
yes.
right. Yeah, because really wouldn't they all they'd have to do is go in as Summoner and they would have found that bug, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's okay. So let's talk about it then. Let's talk about the design. How do you feel about the design of Heaven on High? Because I'm
talking about aesthetically.
Yeah,
I love it. It's great.
Fucking as soon as you get out of the Hingen style stuff, and things start to go. I mean, how much can we talk about? I haven't
been that far. I've not done it. I've not been past floor, whatever it takes to beat the story.
Oh yes, I want to talk about it so bad. Okay, well,
is that spoilers? Do you think or no?
I reached those floors yesterday. I streamed it, and it was probably very annoying to be with me in my party when we got to those, because I wanted to look at everything. So So have you finished the story?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what the tower is. You know at least who's behind the tower, right?
Yes.
Yes, which answers the big question we've been asking for a long time. So after floor, is it 40?
30.
Or after 30? No, because it's Hingen for another round, for another town.
I see.
But then, complete change. And
is it as cool as the white void that you get to at the end of Palace?
No. Well, I haven't been to the very top floors, which I think they changed again after that. But I'm in the medium thing. It kind of looks like a cooler Palace of the Dead, but it's ancient, that civilization that we know of, and it's we're talking real hieroglyphs kind of.
Oh god, I don't want to get to that. That sounds really fun.
It looks so good, and there's so much to look at. It feels like there's way more variety on those floors.
Which kind of sucks, because those are the floors where you have to be going fast or else you run out of time.
Yeah. There's statues of I guess gods that they have. I'm and I don't even know what happens higher up, but as a lore junkie, that was very satisfying design wise. Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about the story at all?
I don't know.
Are we gonna save that for next week?
I feel like it's side content. So, how many people have not done it at this point, right?
Well, me.
Yeah, MAELA hasn't, so maybe we probably should save it.
Can I talk maybe not the story, but just the lore of Heaven on High?
Okay.
Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's probably right.
Because I was really excited to find out that it was actually how they built it or why they built it, I guess. as like as a challenge for people.
Yeah.
I do find it hilarious. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that maybe, but yeah, I thought that was really cool to learn that. It's like, why is this thing here? Finally, we have an answer.
Yeah. The story is a bit short though.
It's too short. Yeah, it was a little underwhelming.
It's almost over before it begins. But
yeah,
gives us some good insight on what happened, like how a big empire worked in that part of Hydaelyn.
Not what I expected though.
No. We'll talk more about it next week in the story.
Can I say one thing though?
Go ahead.
I guess you're being vague, so maybe I shouldn't. But does that mean that calamities happened everywhere? Is basically what I'm getting at.
Ooh.
Do you know what I'm saying now?
Ooh.
Because
Shit.
the Hydaelyn only calamities thing is kind of thrown out the window now.
That is a good. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I mean, I would love to discuss that, but do we? I mean,
I know, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Next week, we'll talk about it next week.
All right.
Okay. So the bosses. Let's talk about the bosses. The boss on floor 30 or on floor 30 is Titan. It's Titan with a new skin and some new, and I feel like he's got like a mix of Susano and his old moves.
I honestly didn't even see any of it because we had 3 Magicites when we went into the last boss, so he was dead like instantly. I didn't see him.
Yeah, I think the bosses are basically like reskins of old ones.
Which was the same in Palace.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Exactly. They're not too hard. I feel like the difficulty level of Heaven on High is lower.
Definitely.
Than Palace of the Dead.
I was a little upset to not so actually I kind of take back what I said, because there was an original boss in Palace, which was Edda, right?
Yeah.
And she had like some, there was like felt like a new fight.
Yeah.
We didn't really get that in this, but I again have not done the bosses afterwards, so it's possible that there is unique bosses in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure the last one is unique. Probably. I try to not look at spoilers for that. Yeah, they're okay. Easier, I would say, so far.
Definitely.
At least. When you're
How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it being so short?
I don't know. I feel like it's more doable now that you don't have to go through all those floors to get to the end. It feels...
Well, you still have to go through the same amount. Because you could start on 51 before, so you still have to go through 100 floors.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't have to start at 1 to go to do the
you're right.
Before.
You're right.
So it's the same. It's technically the same length. That's the thing.
Wait, isn't Palace more floors?
Palace is just 200 floors.
200, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're right.
200, yeah.
Plus, starting at 1 was more advantageous for collecting Pommendus.
Yeah.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
Because you keep them, don't you, in a fixed party between floors, whereas you don't in a...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's 80 versus 150. Yeah, so it is shorter. Yeah, I feel like more. I am more. I want to get to the end of this one more than with Palace, because Palace feels like so endless. Like that's a lot of floors to climb. And
I think that's partly because it doesn't change very much between them, and sometimes when it actually does change, it's literally just the colors of the rocks are a bit different.
Yeah,
that's 100% true.
It's the same all for
That's true. Although I have to say, like the white, like crazy area is really
it's
good.
So cool. Yeah.
But yeah,
long time to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about the rewards then, because there are a lot of them. One thing that surprised me was that you can get minions from old content.
Bardings too.
Yeah. So you don't have to like farm the old stuff to get them anymore. There's a chance you can get them in the iron. Sorry.
What bardings can you get? Is it like the primal one?
Yeah,
lots of
primal
ones, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got Ramus, I think.
Oh yeah.
So it's all the really old ones too. Like it's all
That's
of them,
cool.
I think.
Yeah.
All of them probably, but like I'm assuming Shinryu and Tsukiyomi probably aren't in there, but
no.
They might be. I don't know.
Hey,
that would kind of
someone can confirm that.
They'll probably keep increasing.
If Tsukiyomi's in there, I wouldn't want Tsukiyomi in there.
No.
Because you can sell those, right? So
Yeah.
that would hurt the market.
Dude, you can sell the haircut though. I got the haircut like on the first run I did.
Is it unisex or no?
Yes, unisex.
It is,
And
okay.
it sells
Not that I-
for like sold for like 5 million when I got
Ooh.
it. Yeah. It's crazy. Apparently it is pretty rare, so that's why it's so expensive, I guess. That and people
That's
of course using it themselves when they get
Yeah.
Yeah,
it. That's a really good looking haircut though for
it is.
and it's very well designed. Of course I look like a complete fool with it, but
Oh, I'm sure you look beautiful.
of course. So that's the hair and the minions. Of course, there's a unique minion too. There's one of those like dinosaurs with the frills.
Oh, it's a bearded dragon, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess that's what it is. That's cool. I of course haven't gotten it. I don't know if does it drop from the sacks or does it drop from the horde? The horde is sacks.
You buy it.
Potsherd is what I'm thinking
You
about.
buy it.
Oh,
Yeah. Have you read the description for that, by the way?
No.
It's a chlamydia joke.
Oh no.
I'm dead serious.
What?
It's a chlamydia joke.
Oh my god. Well,
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
wow, I haven't read. Oh, that's Koji Fox.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, it's 10 potsherds. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, of course I've
That's
seen it
a
on the
lot
list. That's
for
a
a
lot.
minion.
But here's the thing, Maela. You can just
but
just spam. Which floor is it? Floor
10 to
21 to 30. 21 to 30. You can start
How
from
do you
21 to
spam?
30.
Really?
You can
Yeah.
start at 21?
Yeah.
That's
Unusual.
unusual.
No, that's the latest point you can start at. 21.
That's wow. That's
Oh,
weird.
so you can start at either like 1,
1
11,
or 21. 1 or 21. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes different. Okay, yeah.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah.
That's super easy to get.
So, yeah, every time you do that, you get 10. So no, not 10. That would be
1.
great.
Yeah,
that would
1.
That would be
great.
If you got 10, yeah.
You get 1. There's also, of course, the dodo for clearing
Mhm.
Palace of Heaven on High.
Is that just for clearing it?
Wait, I need chat. Please clarify,
Or is
or
that
yes, if you know.
I think it drops out of the bags.
Oh, it
Isn't
drops from the bags. Okay.
Yeah.
But
so
the
it's-
bags
it's
only the bags from a certain set of floors, right?
correct. Just like exact same as Night Pegasus.
Right. there you go.
Right.
But if you clear it 4 times, you get
You get
yourself a horse.
Mm,
Is that just so? Is that an achievement reward then?
must be.
Oh, this
Must be, right?
Must be. Yeah.
I don't know. But it looks
I want that horse.
it looks
It's
really
pretty
good.
cool.
I want that
Does
horse.
look nice.
Just found out about it like 10 minutes before the show started. you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it is just another horse, but it's a nice horse.
yeah.
It's pretty. It's a fancy horse.
Mhm.
It's
a very
not like
fancy horse.
it at least has a saddle and everything. Not
Yeah.
like some of the other ones that are just super plain.
Yeah, it's very ornate. It's got a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, it's not just like the naked horse that you get from
Right.
certain other content.
I'm 100% sure it flies. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
it
got it.
doesn't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah,
All
you
horses
wouldn't make
fly
it
in
not fly.
Eorzea now. Or
Well,
Hydaelyn.
actually, all of them don't. That's
Wait.
the problem.
Oh yeah,
twists
you're
its head
right.
around
You're
like a
right.
helicopter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? None of them
Wait,
fly.
none of them
except for
fly. That's right. Well, the war horses fly.
Warhorse and I
Yeah,
guess
the
like
most
the Knight
unlikely
Pegasus
horses
is-
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah.
The ones that are literally
I
just
know.
horses fly, but then like the super
The,
magical primal ones don't.
the ones with like energy at their feet can't
Yeah,
fly.
they can't fly. That's too much. And of course the dodo. I've seen the dodo in flight. It's glorious. A flightless bird, mind you, but
Yeah.
who cares? It's got the tiniest wings.
Aw,
There's
bless
also the emote, which is literally me and Maela right now. The sweat emote.
Me too, dude.
oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, we're all sweaty
Perfect
boys.
timing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
they did it just for the heat wave.
yeah,
No doubt.
maybe. That's really good too.
Is it persistent or
Persistent, yeah.
nice?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Which I guess there's people doing that already in the game, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Just
like
standing
isn't there
there
people doing that at
sweating.
Costa?
Yes, they do. Yeah. They also do it
Costa.
like at working, like when they're like building stuff. There's always like someone right next.
There's
to them,
always
like,
one guy standing
"Oof."
there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Um.
Good. I like the lore building, or I guess they're more roleplay emotes, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I like them.
It's also nice AFK emotes.
Yeah.
And then you can be funny and do it in like Curthus Highlands.
So hot.
Okay, so let's compare it to Palace. How does
I've
it
not done
fare?
it.
I mean, MAELA can.
Give us the lowdown. Is it just Palace again?
Yes and no.
Mm.
It's better in certain ways. I think the actual content itself is better. Like the actual doing the floors is better.
Yeah.
Because the floors are nicer looking. They're not boring.
Yeah.
They're there's the new. I personally think the new Pomanders are better than the old ones.
Oh yes, for sure.
The addition of Magicite's fantastic.
Oh. Yes.
I think that's all it's got going for it personally. I think the story is too short and not really very interesting.
Yeah.
Besides the lore we get in it, but the actual the lore that the story gives us is fantastic.
Mhm.
The story itself is not interesting in my opinion.
No.
Would you like it to have another 100 floors added?
I don't think so. Probably.
Ask me again when I've cleared it. When
I
I've,
mean,
like,
they would have to
done
be
all the
harder floors.
Yeah.
So I doubt it. You that would be probably. I think the difficulty goes up a lot faster, even though it's easier. That's the weird thing to say. It's easier, but the difficulty goes up faster. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
like we were saying before the podcast, I went on to look at the leaderboards, and people have cleared 84 solo already
Yeah.
That's crazy.
in less than a week, whereas Palace.
I assume Red Mage.
No, it's a scholar.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
Red
the
Mage is
Fairy
about
Tether?
80. But that's ridiculous in a week
It
to
is.
have got the ether pool, because it's a new ether pool set, isn't it? It's not. It doesn't share the Palace.
There was a lot of people 99 first day.
Yeah.
Why?
So I think
How?
it's way easier. It is. I'm pretty sure it's way easier to get light. I mean, I
Dude.
went through floors 1 to 30, and I'm at like 40 already.
Dude, the amount of silver chests is insane. It is
Yeah,
way
oh, absolutely.
higher than in Palace of the Dead.
It's way higher.
I'm going to say that the Necromancer title's worth a heck of a lot more than whatever title you get for this. Then
Obviously.
Agreed. It
yes,
definitely is.
yes.
It definitely is.
not very
Um,
prestigious.
No, well, I mean, we've yet to see someone clear it, but we don't know
Right.
how the latter floors might be like it. Because
Yeah.
Might
the
be
higher
more
up you
possible,
go,
true.
apparently, the more insta-death mechanics you get. Like, there's literally a mob in Palace of not in Heaven on High that that the moment it sees you, if you do not kill it or stun it immediately, you die.
Kind
Wow.
of like the slimes almost.
Yeah, almost.
That's
so
nice.
But those slimes, you had like 90 seconds to kill
Yeah.
them. You had a long time to kill the slimes. So.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, there are
But
range
still.
mechanics on single mobs and stuff. So
Think
Is
how long
there-
people were at like level 100, and then it took ages for 200 players. They were only done recently
yeah,
in Stormblood.
it's true.
That's true. Is there an achievement for soloing it?
Don't know. I would just assume that
You'd
there
have to
is,
assume there is, right?
but I don't.
But
I
maybe
actually don't know the
maybe
title.
they made it so it's not possible this time.
Mm,
There is. Oh, Lone Hero. Okay, that's a decent title.
That's a
Lone
cool
Hero.
title. Yeah,
That's all right. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Necromancer's pretty awesome.
That is pretty
That's
cool
true.
too. I agree. Okay. So that's Heaven on High. There really isn't much to say about it. It's I think that the thing that I feel like Heaven on High has, even though it's basically just the same rooms put together for each floor, it feels more different than it did with Palace, because Palace only had so many configurations and you saw the pattern very quickly. In Heaven on High, it kind of changes enough, and maybe that's because there are fewer floors you have to go through that you never really get to see the pattern enough.
That's
But
true.
I like that, but also I also feel like there are more traps, but I'm just dumb. I think
No, there's definitely more traps.
yeah, stepping in landmine mines all the time.
I guess we should talk about the otter trap too. That's pretty funny.
Oh, the otter trap is cool, and the bug.
Then the bug, which I hope they never fix personally.
Yeah.
I hope that's not a bug that breaks anything. I think they should leave it.
Yeah,
I think it's hilarious.
So basically, if you get there's a trap in Heaven on High that turns you into an otter, and if someone in your party, you can't do this yourself, by the way, but someone in your party enters group posts, they will see you but huge
Aw.
for some reason.
Is it
That's
you
weird.
huge or is everybody else tiny? Because I think
I
don't know what it is.
It's no, it's definitely you getting bigger. So it's
and it scales with races, which is even funnier. So the bigger
Yeah.
your character is, the more you
Dude,
get big.
I saw a picture of a Lalafell as tall as a Hyur. That
Ooh.
That's got to be so weird.
that was scary. I don't want to
That
see
sounds
ever see. That's a
creepy
cursed
almost.
image. Do not share those pictures at all.
If you share that in our Discord, we will ban
Yeah,
you.
you'll be banned. Yeah. Another thing we should mention is the open rooms. Because
Yeah.
they were introduced with this, and They look cool, and especially when you get to the higher floors, because the aesthetic is very cool. It's also very frightening, I realize, when you're in those big rooms. It's like, okay, where
Dude,
do we go?
Have you done the glorious combo yet? Where
what?
Where you just use a fortune in the big room and then use like a summon.
Oh yeah,
or
a magicite.
petrifaction things,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just like you just look across the room and it's just chests everywhere.
Yeah,
That's why there's so many blue chests.
Yes.
You get like 50. You can get like probably 15 Aether Pool points on
Yeah.
on one of those big floors.
Yeah. Here's a PSA, by the way. If you have a Pomander of Fortune, you have to use that before you use the Magicite. Please.
Yes, please do.
It triggers me every time I'm in a party and someone just uses the Magicite. I'm like, but we had a Fortune thing. We could have had so many chests.
Mm-hmm.
But the big room also has another thing that we didn't know before. There are 3 exits. Only one of them is correct. And if you go into the wrong one, it will trigger a trap. Either a luring trap, a landmine, any trap really can be triggered if you go into that. There's a way, apparently, to check if it's fake or not, and that is if you use the thing that makes you invisible, that Pomander, and walk into it, it won't react. It won't trigger the trap, and it will not react to you. That's how you know it's fake. So go. So if you're really afraid, that's how you can do that. Circumvent that. The
Does that
concealment
work with
Pomander.
Ninja stealth.
I don't
Maybe.
know. Maybe.
It might.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much all concealment is, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Heaven on High. It's good content. It's I would say it's different enough from Palace of the Dead to be interesting. So, and I really want to get to the top because I want to. First of all, I want the dodo mount, and I want the horse. So there are 2 like big incentives there. There's also all the other stuff. Like I want all the minions that I don't have. There's a possibility I can get all of them almost from Heaven on High and Bardings. Like it's perfect. And a title.
Hell
To
yeah.
boot. Okay, so Heaven on High. Thank you, Heaven on High.
Oh yes, no, the Heaven on High furniture.
Yes.
Yeah. The tower.
You
that
can get
put
the
in your yard.
tower.
Yeah, it's
Can
so
you?
cool. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get, and apparently people can glitch on top of their house.
Oh
Oh,
my
So you
god.
can have it as like
My
a
God.
tall
Please
ass.
make it like exact size 1-to-1 replica, and I'll just be
I wish.
the bane of my neighbors.
Yes.
Oh, 5.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. So let's move on to content that we have yet to get, and content that might be left behind as a result.
It won't. don't worry.
Let's talk about Eureka and what is going to happen to Anemos.
Just tell us anything, probably.
We know very little about Pagos, which is very weird.
Yeah, it's
'Cause we're
that's
getting
gonna
a
be
l-
cold.
Yeah, because we're getting a live letter next week,
Yeah.
and that's going to be all about 4.4.
4.
Yeah.
So they say. Well,
Yeah.
it does say other announcements or something.
Sure, that's not just look at this plushie we added to the Mog Station.
I might.
No, or
be
the
wrong.
I hope
Square
so.
Enix store. I mean,
Yeah, you might be right.
Got in-game plushies, please.
they exist though. You can already buy them from the market board, MAELA.
Yeah, but I want them from the Mock Station only.
You can't. Okay. So the thing we don't know about the new Eureka is,
Well, anything.
well,
Apart from the
okay,
fact
we
that we
get
know
it.
nothing at all.
Apart from that, is how it's going to affect Anemos.
Right?
Uh,
There's gotta be some sort of catch-up mechanic.
Yes.
Or like a way of soloing Anemos. 'cause
Yes.
it's-
So that's the thing. Is like the only problem I can see is Pazuzu feathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Um,
Zuzu feathers.
with the challenge log, it's not really unrealistic to get to 20 on
Yeah,
your own
that's
in a couple weeks, probably, maybe even 2 weeks.
True.
Maybe they'll make
but-
it so you can like exchange X number of crystals for a Pazuzu feather, and then
That would be that's a good fix. That's
Yeah.
true.
that is-
Just in general, I guess, what are they going to do about NMs? Because once they, like, I know people are like, they scale. They don't scale so low that you can kill it by yourself, though. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're actually the only one in your instance, then I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, because you've recently been there, right? And
Yeah, I've been trying to, because I'm missing 3 relics now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well, I might as well get them done now instead of trying to go back and do it later. That's gonna be impossible. And it's pretty damn hard to, like, even getting Pazuzu to pop is sort of a challenge unless you get lucky and there happens to be a full instance, which I find is very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even if you spawn him, it's unlikely that you'll even have enough people to kill him.
Right.
I spawned him 3 times in one night. I think I might have killed him on the 3rd one, and
Right.
I was in there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Remember that half the reason there are no players in there at the moment is because we're on an odd patch as well. There's no reason to
That's true.
cap.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to be in Eureka.
Nope.
Yeah, it's probably I don't know what they would do to keep it like actually to keep it like relevant when you
I
have
don't think there's anything they could do.
right.
Is there anything that they could do to keep? I don't think there is. It's like the only thing they could do, in my opinion, to keep it working, which would also be a dumb idea in the same regard, would be
Yeah.
connecting the instances, like
Yeah.
actually having them
Mm.
directly connected.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
No.
That would also suck, because if they kept the 144 limit, that's just more people spread across, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't really think there's anything that they can do.
Yeah, and I mean having it in one zone would also be bad, because now shout chat would be, you know, basically choose, like, some would
Right.
shout for Snow Zuzu and others would be for Pazuzu. So
Yeah.
it would be a mess. So I see kind of why, but yeah, I have no idea. I'm curious to see how they do this. I hope they're doing something to keep Anemos alive, but their track
got,
record
like-
shows that might not do that.
Do you
So
think they're gonna have to like put some sort of other item in there in order to actually make you, like, are they gonna have to update the loot bags and only have it in Anemos so people go back and do it?
they could
something
do
like
that.
that,
They could do
You
that.
know?
But
I
that's
guess.
like a real forced
Yeah.
way around it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because for Heavenswood and whatever the other one was called, relics, they added the catch-up stuff like 5 patches down the line.
Yeah.
It increased the drop
Right.
rate for luminous crystals in like Stormblood almost.
Yeah.
Was Storm.
And
No,
in this one, they're going to be
okay.
doing it literally the patch afterwards, which is very awkward. It's a
Yeah.
great idea that they've put it behind its own game system, but they've run into a problem now.
It
and
opens up a
they're-
whole new can
They're
of problems.
clearly struggling to figure out a solution.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
So I've
Yeah.
seen people in chat being like, they have to have had a backup plan. I don't think they did, because
This
the
is Square
challenge
Enix.
log took a few weeks.
Mhm,
And
yeah.
if they had a catch-up plan, the challenge log would have been there from the beginning.
They
Yeah.
have to have a backup plan. This country uses fax machines still. They've not got a backup plan.
Yeah, it's again, I mean, it's like I said earlier, like the main servers are the public test servers, so this is just
They need
how it is.
public test servers.
They do.
Every MMO has one.
Yeah,
Who cares if someone sees? Don't put the story stuff in.
people
Just
data
give
mine it
access-
anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
Just let people do the content parts of it,
yeah,
rather without the story, just to see if the fights and stuff work, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not like they need to give us the patch early.
true.
It's just they need tests because every single patch this expansion has been like taken offline for like half a day
Yeah, yeah,
because it failed at something.
That's true. It's becoming more of a problem now, and I think that might be because the game's getting more complicated.
mm,
There's
Yeah.
more variables in it than there was
Yeah.
before,
yeah,
which I'll give them credit for. But it's not. Yeah, it sucks when everyone's excited for a patch, and that exact night when everyone's gonna go play the patch,
Yeah.
well, the new content's inaccessible. You know,
yeah.
it kind of sucks a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird. This this whole like patch, we've talked about this so many times, but the whole patch arc is so, it's so strange. Is this a test? Are they testing? Is this just a big project? They're like,
I don't
we
think so.
have to, let's try to make things bad. I don't know.
What would happen if we make our game bad?
We haven't had a 3.1 in a while. Interesting.
Let's see. Maybe it'll work this time. It didn't. We'll see what happens with Eureka whenever that comes out. 2 weeks from now? 3 weeks it would be, right? No, wait. When? We don't know. So
Well,
the
never
live
know.
letter is on a Monday. So maybe they'll be like,
I think
oh yeah,
it's
Pagos.
possible the following Tuesday could be it.
It's out tomorrow, guys.
I would love that if they were like, "Hey, it's out." By the way,
Yeah.
that would be nice. But it's obviously, I think they're gonna
While
give.
you've been
they're gonna give Heaven
watching
on High
this
a few
live
weeks.
letter, we've released it. And you're like,
Oh
game
my
now.
god. It'll be like people lose their minds.
I mean, they have to give Heaven on High breathing room, right?
Yeah.
Because the weapons will probably be better than Heaven on High weapons from Pagos. So
what item level are the I don't know.
365.
Yes.
That
365.
makes sense. That makes sense. That's
So
a
I would
pretty good eye level.
assume then that Pagos will be 375 or
I would say 375.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get
no,
Kinner.
probably. It might
'Cause
be
it's
370.
It's the end of the
Because
patch.
usually but they're usually five. They're still 5 below raid weapons.
No.
No.
375. I'm calling it 375.
Wait, hold on. Back in like when we were on the odd numbered patches, the relic becomes
still-
best
it
in
was still-
slot for the last few weeks,
For
right?
the last patch. That happens in the 0.5 patches.
No, you're right.
They're not
It's
gonna.
gonna
I'll tell you
be-
what. They're not gonna make the the relic as good as the ultimate drop weapon.
Oh
I don't think
no,
so.
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Because don't
Relic's
forget,
gonna
those
be
are 5.
380
It would be
with
way
5
better.
slots.
It would be way better because it would be 375 with you do
With, like,
ultimate to get
5
the
material
extra
slots.
slots. They give you one with 5. I don't think so.
No,
It'll
okay,
probably be 370 is my guess.
Will it become purple?
Please become purple. And will it be
I
a new
hope so.
model? Hopefully a new model. But then it won't
It-
have a glow.
It'll definitely be a new model.
It won't have a
Yeah,
glow
it
yet.
must. They must do
It's
that.
gotta be.
So yeah.
I want it glow.
But will it have glow? You know, that's the
No, it
next
won't have a
question. Because whenever they introduce a new model, usually they start without the glow, and then you
Exactly.
get the glow
Ugh.
later. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Maybe it'll be, it'll just be a +1. Maybe we'll have to do +1, +2. Pagos.
I think so.
Oh god.
Yeah. And remember,
What a nightmare.
there's no armor this time around.
Which I'm actually happy about.
Yeah.
No. 'Cause I want glowing armor as well. Yeah.
I mean, that's
God, no.
that still doesn't mean we won't get armor in the next one again, because he did say that they hadn't abandoned it, but that this was now they wanted to focus on the weapon. So maybe in the next one they will focus on the armor. I don't know.
I hope not.
That's a weird system if they do that. But it would be
I
nice to
think-
have like a full like set of purple like
Yeah,
armor.
it would be the
I agree
best
with
thing
that.
ever.
Yeah.
I think if they're gonna do that, I feel like they should save armor again for the last one.
Yeah.
If we're gonna get a really cool set of armor, make it like the
Best
end
in
reward.
slot.
Because who gives a shit at 4.5 if that's the last patch anyways?
Yeah.
Who cares
Yeah.
if it's the best? Because it doesn't matter. They do that with the weapons too. They're like, it's gonna be item of 450 with 6 slots. Like nobody cares at the end of
Yeah.
the patch, right?
True.
Evidently, all the people who whined about the diadem.
Are you gonna bring that
weapons-
up again? That was bullshit, though, and I will once again call that out.
People care. People care when the best thing is locked behind trash content.
Because for once you had the best in slot, and they were like, "Oh yeah, lol, here's diadem. It's 5 item level. I'm having a stroke. 5 item levels higher. Fuck you. I'll never forgive you for that." Okay.
That was fun.
Let's move on to some controversy. The Rising 2018 is coming up. Of course, we'll first have Moonfire Fair, but that usually transitions into I almost thought they coexisted at one point, because the theming doesn't really change around the city states. They still send up fireworks and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, the Rising comes right after, and turns out through the magic and the power of data mining, that 1.0 items are being reintroduced in the game.
Dun dun dun.
The items in question are white ravens, which are earrings that you got for beating Nail Van Darnus hard, and the Manderville earrings, which you got for finishing the 1.0 Hildebrand questline. Now, please keep
Is
in
that
mind,
a cactus?
no,
earring? Oh, damn it.
this is 1.0. So those Hildebrand earrings are basically like those brass earrings that you get, but they're red.
They're not gonna look
Whoa.
good. Don't worry. Don't be excited that they're gonna be crazy good.
Whoa,
looking.
whoa.
The white ravens are pretty cool because they look
They
like
are.
Nail, I believe. So
Yeah, I think it's the Nails helmet.
yeah. These were exclusive 1.0 items. The Nail ones were green gear even, like, so it was a big deal. Now they're introduced again, and some people are very angry.
I can see why. I can easily see why.
I can see why, but for a different reason than you might think. I see it because they cleared content. They cleared a specific type of, especially the Van Darnus one, which was the hardest content in the game. They cleared that, and they got that reward from it. Now they're just going to give it away as if it's candy. Like,
Yeah.
here you go, have this for free. The Hildebrand one I don't really care too much about anyways, because it's just red earrings. It's pointless.
I think my opinion is actually going to surprise people because I think most people would assume that I would be against this, but I'm actually totally for it.
Yeah.
And 100%. I'm on board. I think that's a good idea. They're so old now. It's
Yeah.
content that's completely impossible to access. There's nothing you can do from it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it. 1.0 content is there. Why don't they? Might as well
The
use it.
thing, yeah, because and I'm sure a lot of our viewers probably thought that I was going to be like angry and throw a fit. No, these are 1.0 items. There's a difference between content that used to be in the game and the legacy items, like the
Yeah,
actual
that's
legacy
true.
stuff. This is just stuff from 1.0. Go ahead, take it. There were barely people playing the game at the time, so I understand if a lot of people want to complete their collection of stuff, and this,
Here's a question.
yeah.
Would you be okay with it? Maybe it's not the exact same item.
What do you
Maybe
mean?
there's differences. Like maybe you can tell what's a 1.0 white raven earring and what's a Stormblood.
That would have been a nice solution if
You
they had like a
we don't know.
marker
It
on
might
it.
be, right?
But
It
I
might
don't
be.
think it has. I think it's
Like maybe
I think
one's
they-
green, one's white or something.
Hmm.
I assume these will be level 1.
I don't
right?
know. I haven't
Not level
checked. I haven't
50.
checked the
Just the
level.
glamour ones, yeah.
So maybe it's a different item.
They
We'll
may be
see.
different items.
We'll see.
I think the only reason people hate it is because they think it's going to go down that slope of eventually we'll all be able to get the tattoo.
Well,
That's what they're scared
I mean,
about.
it's
They
already
want-
happening in Korea and China, but
I don't care about that anymore.
no.
Yeah, who cares about
It's
those
again
guys?
topsy-turvy land. We don't.
Exactly.
It's not.
Oh no, I was
14.
saying I don't care if we get them. I
Oh,
wouldn't care.
I
anymore.
would care. I would care about that
people-
because they told
yeah.
us, please
I
pay
wouldn't
for
either
our
'cause I
game.
quite like it.
Okay, I'll
Pay for our
rephrase.
game,
I'll
and you will get
rephrase.
a tattoo. Pay for this unplayable game for 3 months, and you will, or any months. You just had
Yeah,
to
but
pay.
then I got ripped off because I played when it wasn't. I couldn't.
Oh
pay.
wait, actually, you didn't. I don't know. I remember how this worked. I think all legacy characters got them.
No, you had to pay for 3 months.
No, you had to. If you paid for 3 months, you got. If you paid for 3 months, you got.
You got ripped off.
I can't remember how this
Trash
worked.
game.
All legacy. The mount was
Chocobo.
was 3 months.
Yeah, which is only
Characters
like-
that existed on Hydaelyn during the Calamity got the tattoo on the back, regardless of whether they had played on the character or not. But the Chocobo was a selling
What about
point.
the Gubu? Did you buy the Gubu?
No, the Gubu was an event item that you got from the Wandering Minstrel.
I only want the Chocobo.
Yeah,
That
but-
Chocobo will forever make my mount collection incomplete.
yeah, but that's just how
Which
it
is-
is.
But I played the game for
I
3
think-
months.
I wish they had instead removed it from the overall count. Instead, seeing as it
agree
is
with that.
unobtainable.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, I feel like if they ever give that Chocobo, I can even bend so far as to give the tattoo away.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Your tattoo,
The tattoo
over
is
Chocobo.
ugly anyway. Like, I don't want it.
That's why I don't
if
want it.
people
That's why I don't want it either.
Yeah, if people want to wear that, go ahead. But the Chocobo was literally the reason you stayed subbed for 3 months.
I couldn't. I didn't have the option.
People paid for a game that they couldn't play. It's insanity, and people paid for it to get that Chocobo in what they promised to be a better game, which hopefully, not hopefully, which thankfully it was.
Surely the best part of being a legacy player is the fact that you play the game for so much cheaper than everyone else.
That
is the best part.
That too.
Which I think you also had to pay 3 months for, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't get the cheap. I don't get the cheap shit either. Hey.
The fact that you pay for legends, you can get a retainer. See,
someone in chat, like, well, you didn't play a bad game. No, I did play it. That's the problem. I played it when there was no sub.
Yeah.
So
you fucked up.
I fucked up. I played during the wrong time.
It's not being elitist, because if I had been a legacy elitist, I wouldn't have allowed this at all. But you have to like understand that they literally told us like this. Please pay for our game so we can make a new one. We'll give you a Chocobo. That's all. That's all.
Right.
That's all. And a cheaper sub.
They promised that the Moogle outfit from the FanFest would only be exclusive for people who paid for the FanFest, Lukiel.
But that's when they started to scam. That's when they started to do all this shit.
Scam.
Basically what it is. The
thing is, they do go back on their word quite often.
They do go back on their words. And it's only a matter of time before they do that. That's going to be like, to me, a signal like, okay, we're done with you now. Thanks. Bye.
Is this why you're okay with it? Because these aren't items that were specifically given for subbing?
I feel like,
even though it's content,
I feel like these items belong to the community because it was part of the game at some point. Everyone should be able to get access to them still.
Okay.
But the legacy items were specifically targeted at players to keep paying for the game, so Square Enix could afford making a Realm Reborn. And that's what we did, and that is our literally our only reward: the Chocobo and $9.99 per month. That is it, and the legacy tattoo, which looks absolutely horrible.
It does. Can you take the legacy tattoo off, by the way, if you don't want it?
Yeah, /L mark off. So, so that's that. So give them all the 1.0 items. Give them the horn. I don't care. Give them the not the Dalamud horn, but the horn that you got from beating Nail as well. I don't care. Give it away. It's ugly. All the stuff from here's the thing. Everything from 1.0 was ugly. Everything.
So bland and shitty.
Everything. So if you want all the ugly things, you can have them.
You're saying you don't want the top tier tank gear to just be a regular suit of iron armor? What? How dare you?
Oh God.
The most important thing about the Rising though is obviously the poem, which we'll talk about the next expansion pack.
That's a good point.
Wait,
that's a very good point. Yes, he's right.
They always reveal a poem.
Oh, that's right.
There's always Louis Sua's book, and that always reveals the next.
So I'm pretty excited when that gets released. We can figure that out.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
It's like to north of place, they all will go.
Yeah, it's
called Garlemald. It's gonna be a bit boring.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, the items are also indicative of what the story might be about in the Rising this time.
Sometimes, yeah.
Maybe we'll look back on Nail Van Darnus. Maybe I don't know why they would.
They're bringing in Nail Van Darnus because it's related to Garlemald.
That makes sense, I guess.
And they're bringing back Hildebrand because...
because Hildebrand.
Because he's funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Always funny.
So I forget what I was going to say. Never mind. I had something to say about the Rising, but I forgot.
It's also 14's Realm Reborn's 5-year anniversary, so maybe it's something special.
That's big as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But I don't care about the items. Give them away. Just don't take my Chocobo. It's the only thing I've got. Please.
Wouldn't it be cool if for the Rising event they brought back the fight with Nail Van Darnus?
That would be cool.
An exclusive trial.
They would have to rework it for the new battle system, but yeah, that would be.
Dude, remember slowly walking up the stairs and like attacking the meteors in like the lamest way ever.
God.
The fight looked
Oh.
cool though.
It looked cool, and the soundtrack was good. But we've heard it so many times in A Realm Reborn now, so but it was pretty good back then. Right. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we start talking about ourselves?
No, time to self-indulge.
Yeah. Okay. We're on episode 100. That's a number I didn't think we'd reach ever. So hey, I actually thought we were gonna end at like 20 or something, but hey, we persisted. A lot of people ask how do you even because I've said before, like, you used to stream for like 0 people. Like, why continue? And here's my answer. I don't know why I kept doing it, but
I think that's just
came a
I mean,
thing.
that's kind of what everybody does when they start off. Then you
Yeah.
either quit or you keep going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure probably a lot of people even in chat have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna start streaming," and then they do the first 3 streams, nobody watches, and you get disheartened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I mean, I dealt with that too, and it's like, but then eventually, just like you're like, fuck it, and then you keep doing it, and then weird enough, when you stop caring, that's when other people start watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course it's enjoyable too. There's I can't we're supposed to talk about stuff that we remember from our time here, but again, my memory, I can barely remember. I remember the beginning, and I remember like 3 weeks back, but I can't remember like any specific stuff in between. But when I made the intro video for today, I found the Patreon video that I made with Orange, which
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
has to be
So cringy.
cringiest
So good.
video I
Oh,
think.
Is that a donation?
It's so cringy, dude.
And the fact that we kept it too for a long, it stood, it was there.
It was there after Orange was gone.
Oh yes,
still.
oh yes, for a long time. There were like 2 parts. There was the this is our
We
Patreon
love
campaign.
making our content, but we barely learn anything from our.
This is an
videos.
internal
Thank you, that's
meme. This is a
motivating.
meme that we have had backstage, which we just recited the Orange like poorly
Even he did it.
executed. Yeah, it was very clearly reading from a script. It was very good. I remember when we covered like FanFest, but we didn't cover the real FanFest. But we covered like the stuff before FanFest, and when we did the reaction video, and the weird time when Lonigan was on the show, but maybe
Oh,
he
God,
wasn't
yeah.
on. Like no one really knew who's
My
the
favorite
crew.
part about. Do you remember the PS3 end of life announcement? And it's like you and Orange are like so excited. And Lonigan, who has not he's like, what game even is
He's
this? Football
already
Manager?
it's like
He's like,
is this Metal
brilliant,
Gear
isn't it?
Solid?
yeah, I want to play Tony Hawk's. Like, what are you on about?
And he gets genuinely like worried when I react the way I do, because he
Yeah.
thinks that I'm like about to fucking cry or whatever. 'Cause, like it's a very like, if you think about it that way, it's a very uncomfortable video to watch, because he's not in tune with this.
He doesn't
at
know
all.
what's going on. And he just
No.
sees his friend just go mental.
Yeah. I also remember the first. So there's a couple of cool things that I remember. There's I remember the first donation, which occurred during a 1.0 stream. I think it was during maintenance between A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, when the servers were down, and I had just gotten my hands on what was then called 7th Umbral or whatever it was called. It doesn't exist anymore. But I did that stream, and someone donated, and I had never heard that donation sound in my life, and I thought that there was a mob attacking me, and I was so confused, and I kept looking around. I'm like, oh my fucking god, what's happening?
And I assume you were so not expecting to get donations, you didn't have Twitch alerts open or anything. to
Nothing was
tell,
open,
right?
absolutely
yeah,
nothing.
So it's like,
So I'm like, well, how do I do this? And that donation, and I still remember his name. That's Equestria guy. I think he's still a patron. I think.
Yeah. I see
Yeah.
it.
And his donation was stuck on our stream
Yes.
for years.
Yes.
We never got any other donations. It was always Equestria Guy, $10 from Equestria Guy. He was always on the scroll. It was him and someone else who'd like donated $1 after him. So those two just kept scrolling forever. So that was like a thing that we we kept talking about. Equestria Guy, and we have to make sure he's on stream.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, by the way,
Yeah,
if you're.
Oh yeah, dude.
You're
You're
Yeah.
the best. I mean, I wasn't there, but you're the best.
Also, remember that stream specifically because it was the first time our stream got more than 100 viewers. I remember that was insanity, and I remember
No one
like
knew what to watch.
I remember calling Lonigan. I'm like, you have to go to Twitch because I have over 100 viewers right now. I remember
On
that.
stream.
That was yeah. I did. I think I had to go pick. Oh God, I think I had to pick him up. That's what it was. I had to pick him up. I'm like, but dude, I've got over 100 viewers right now. But I left the stream running and just threw myself. I just had to go get him, and I'm like, I have to go home. I'm like, no, you're coming with me for a bit because I have to finish this stream. So Lonigan was like sitting next to me while I was doing it. That was pretty good. Yeah. So, do you guys have any favorite memory, anything at all from this? Anything worth mentioning? At all. I mean, it's like we're very standardized. It's like we just show up and that's that.
I mean, it's just been fun in general. All right. What favorite memories? I don't.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I really liked the Forest co-op.
You're
the
talking about
turtle
the early like gameplay days. That wasn't even the podcast.
Who cares about that? Who cares about that? That was way better. When it was just you and Orange, and like you hit the turtle, and you could pick up its face.
Oh yes, yeah. The Forest
Brilliant
was a thing.
game.
Yeah, we did that
Great
for a
game.
while. That was during the hiatus though.
And Simon's book, whatever that game was called, Cry Fair.
Cry Affair, yeah.
And Orange dying on the 12-hour stream.
Yeah.
24-hour stream when he almost died.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's the best and most terrifying memory I have from this.
I can't breathe properly anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Yes, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary. I'm
the
glad I
whole-
wasn't part of it then.
The whole like last part of Orange like era was a fever dream. It feels like.
I was right when I joined too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good initiation.
Yeah.
It was. It really was.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
yeah. Stupid dog is like, this guy is the reason for my allergies.
We've done so like 100 episodes plus the special episodes that we've done as well. They sort of like melt together eventually. So I'm almost like struggling to separate them. But yeah, it's generally been a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked working out minimum item level. I mean, we're still doing it. Because
Yeah.
We just changed the wheel again. But figuring out our formats and stuff, that was really fun.
Mhm.
I had
For sure.
a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, and also the minimum eye level in general. I remember the first because we
Hulk
made
Mana.
that out of God, I'm trying to remember. The reason we made a minimum eye level the first time around was it because we were just afraid that there wasn't enough content?
We just wanted more sections on the podcast, so
No,
we were gonna have-
because we
did
didn't
we not?
show it on the podcast back then.
oh,
We made that separate, and then I
Why
think it
did
was
we
just
do that?
separate content.
just for fun.
Yeah.
Maybe it was so we hit like more than one.
It was your
stream a week.
idea, actually, wasn't
Yeah, I
it?
know. I am pretty proud of how far it's come, but I'm not liking the fact that some guy has imposed this weird wheel rule. And it's like,
Someone has
I didn't
ruined
ask
my
for this.
vision.
I didn't ask for this. He
Yeah.
keeps making these weird, like, hey, how about if we do this like really difficult content at the lowest possible item level, naked without our screens?
Let's make it
on?
unclearable. That's the challenge this
Yeah.
week. Clear an unclearable fight.
But to be
Like,
fair,
I'll tell you,
to be fair, we did have a discussion before the wheel was added that
yeah,
it was
too
too
easy.
boring.
There
too
was a couple
easy.
episodes where it was like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
finished it in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we do this? What do we do?
Yeah. So I've again, the wheel has been revised. It only has 4 options now, and they're all very doable. Minimum eye level has been a bit of a journey, but it's been
I mean, it's had some great points like killing Tombury King on
Yeah.
like, the last second
Yeah.
to last minute was a pretty awesome
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, that was
Siren was a good feeling when we went full raid mode.
Oh, that's true.
Never reap.
Never reap.
Never reap was,
Never forget.
was good. That
The
was a
second
fun
time
one.
was even better.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I liked oh god, what's the dungeon called? Where you fight Regulus? The first boss is Regulus. Is that ARF, or is it the other one?
Arf,
Fractal
yeah, it's
Continuum?
Arf.
it's Orf. Yeah.
When me and Yaz ran out,
And we had this whole adventure and none of it
Yeah.
got captured. 'Cause
none
we're
of it
like,
got captured
we made a friend with that robot.
with the robot, yeah, and somehow they managed to kill it. I think it was either Lucian Rotto or Lucian Kasky.
Well, it
I think
was
it was
me and
Kasky.
Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rotto must have been away.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
Yeah, didn't he
funny.
just like wouldn't you just kite it? Casky's barb
Yeah,
was just
Kasky
kiting
was
it
just
the whole
running
time.
in a circle, and Lucian was.
No, we would alternate because eventually I would get aggro because I kept healing him. So
That's
then I had to run around, and then he would have to try to do enough DPS to get him off me. So we just kept
Oh, God,
doing
yeah.
that. So that was a
That was
thing.
funny.
Pope
That's what you
Lukiel,
get.
must
Pope
never
Lukiel
forget
was-
the Pope run where I died before we even got into the dungeon during a hunt.
Oh, that was so funny.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's yeah.
And the court jester.
Yeah. I was just starting to think about content that we abandoned, that we didn't.
We've abandoned. Well, we've not abandoned, but we've stopped doing lore.
Yeah, that's
Well,
pretty
that's
recent.
post-show stuff, though.
Yeah,
that's
that's
I'm not
post-show.
gonna touch the history of post-show.
We'll talk about
Main
post-show
show
later
stuff?
in the post-show. In the post-show.
We haven't done much great discussions recently, but that's just because
The
we've got other stuff
Official
to do.
forum reading that
Official
we did.
yes, with well, we can't say his name.
No,
but,
but that
with
was
the guy.
Yeah, everyone loved that. But that was
Ah,
we
yeah,
had to
I wonder if I
stop when the dude actually found out that it was him.
Yeah. Hey, that's my post.
It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, Gillionaire. Right,
Gillionaire,
Gillionaire.
which is technically
Oh.
not dead,
It's
but
yeah,
We
we're
need to
talking
figure
about
that
it.
out.
We're talking about
we need
it.
to figure
We'll
it
do it
out.
one day.
It's difficult content to make, so
I wonder if I can find any of his content.
We just need a showrunner. That's what we need for Gillionaire.
yeah, it's always been like from the very moment it was made, it was just difficult to do. Always technical difficulties.
This is exactly why Regis doesn't live edit.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a millionaire? He's not like
Imagine that. He just had this giant
he's
mixing
got a
table.
big computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't posted since 2016.
Oh.
That was his
What a
last
shame.
post. 31st of
I mean, we could always
2016.
like we could read Rokian, like the 1.0 meme lord, that he the most legendary poster on the official forums I think ever. That's a possibility. I mean, we could always bring it back. If we could test it out one day. Because
Trouble is, it's hard to find funny. I mean, that guy was just the golden.
dude, Rokian has over 1,000 posts,
But are
and
they as
all
good
of
as that?
them are memes. I'm
Okay.
telling you, like he talked about Gobu nipples, realistic
Okay.
grass, like everything was.
So
fun.
he was joking, right?
No.
Yeah, they can't be joking.
The
otherwise
story
it's
of
not funny, yeah.
Rokian is
Or else
very
it's
cool.
not the official forums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No one jokes on the official forums.
Rokian is he was a mythical figure. He was like he loved 1.0 more than anything in the world, and A Realm Reborn was a big threat because
I
now
see
it
you
was
didn't
gonna
like it.
yeah, it's gonna become a WoW clone. It was gonna be it
Right.
was all these terrible things and Gobu nipples. So
We need them.
See, that's where you lose me. That happens to the official forums all the time, dude. I'm like, you know what? Great point. And then like half of one down, he's like, but why isn't this baby pregnant? And I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck, dude? You completely lost me.
that's
I was
why-
on board with you, and then it's like, what did you do? I
Yeah.
want everybody to wear poopy diapers because it sounds fucking funny. Like, what are you doing?
More female monsters and fat people.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, and this is the last thing, because I was only active, or I wasn't even active, I was just lurking in the forums during 1.0, and the last thing I heard about him is that when A Realm Reborn launched, his account was either hacked or he sold it, and it was now selling Gil. So
No.
it was a tragic end to his tale.
What a sad end.
He never got to see the Gobu nipples, unfortunately. I was thinking about showing stuff from our past, but it's very difficult to do. Mostly because all of the raw footage I have are like 3-hour-long videos.
Yeah, I was impressed you got the footage you got.
God, it
Lot of-
sucks.
yeah.
So I don't know. There's really nothing to show. But wait, hold on. So you guys can't hear the echo. I don't know why. Right. I think we're just gonna skip all of this. Maybe we can talk about what we think is gonna happen in the future. Do we don't have anything planned, so it's like reveals more about the podcast.
We're gonna talk about the next patch when it comes out. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
We'll definitely be doing that.
Probably this year we'll probably have to do a Stormblood review.
Ah,
Oh, it's actually that's actually
right.
the point,
Yeah. So we'll probably do a review of Stormblood.
the big fat.
Hopefully, we'll
review.
do a proper big fat end of year thing because we didn't really do one this year, and I really like that concept.
Yeah.
And obviously we're gonna definitely do the advent calendar this year. Definitely this year.
Oh god.
Definitely this year, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Okay.
guys, this year.
I'll write it
Will.
down now.
Yeah, this
I
year.
should probably start
Better
working,
start working on it.
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to start now.
Oh god, I forgot about top 5 best and
Oh
worst things.
boy, I forgot.
They were good fun, but
You know,
obviously
I still have
no one
3/4 of an episode written actually.
Nice.
Sitting on my computer, there's 3/4 of I think the worst dungeons.
Yeah, because we still have, because we actually have that finished. I mean, the scoring for those.
scoring
is
was done, yeah.
Scoring was done.
I hope I still have that
There's,
document.
they're always so controversial though. Those
So
videos.
controversial,
are.
yeah.
Dude, this one was gonna be worse too. Because my scores got added to the worst ones.
Yeah.
Or no, wait. Was my scores in the top 5?
Yeah, they were. It was a brand. Yeah, it
We made
shows
a new
just how
document.
surprising it all is when you
Orange
combine
fucked the whole
scores.
thing up though.
Yeah, I mean, was he
threw
even
everything
in
off.
this one?
His scores were on the
Oh.
trials, right?
I can't remember. It's been so long.
No, he definitely did. It was definitely the trials one or the dungeons. It was one of them because he gave like a bunch of shit once.
Dungeons were
Orange,
orange.
yeah.
Dungeons?
No, he didn't give them ones, yes, because that would be the reasonable thing to do. He gave them
Right.
zeros
He gave them zeros.
in a
Yeah.
1 through 10 system. So yeah,
Bless him.
he also tried to like manipulate the scores, which was
Yeah.
very orange to do.
Very.
Yeah, we'll obviously we will cover like the stuff that comes out, like FanFest and all the like there's gonna be
Mhm.
coverage
Are
of
we
all of
gonna-
this.
How are we gonna do FanFest this year? Because sometimes it was done in like
Khadgar?
a really live, like breaking news thing, and you had the ticker at the top and all the, and then sometimes it's just we watched it and talked about it.
Like the way we did which one did we cover? We covered the Heavensward FanFest way back when, where now the live stream is free, so the stream can be, I would assume, safely restreamed. I don't know
Hopefully.
how that
We might
works.
wanna-
Otherwise, we'll have to go for the solution we did back then, where someone just takes screenshots and we'll just continuously update it that way.
just have the ticker at the top and then like live breaking news, blah blah blah.
Yeah, if you don't want to pay for our tickets, that's fine. We'll show up. Pay for train ticket and train. Yeah, I'll take the train to
I'll
be
take
Las
the train
Vegas.
to America, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
It'll
take
be super cheap too because all of us live in the States. So
Yeah,
it'll be very
yeah.
cheap for you guys. to pay
very
for it.
cheap. Let's do it.
Station Master, 1 ticket to America.
Yeah, 1 ticket to America. That scared me.
It's not even
Sure.
anymore. So.
No, it's gone. We've
Guys,
evolved.
What? Watch the pop.
Don't acknowledge. Dude.
Oh, it's a frog. Oh, he's flying.
Oh, it's a frog now. Oh my
Pedro
God.
Dunked. Pedro dunked.
Oh my God, it's a frog. It's Pedro. That's cool. Okay. I forgot what I was saying, but it's probably going to be good stuff ahead. Okay, let's get to Mogmail, I guess, unless there's anything else you want to add to finish off our talking about ourselves.
We're just really good.
That's it. There you go. That's the perfect way to say it. I can't talk.
Should you pull the dungeon?
Good idea, Mr. Pot.
Screw that.
Mr. Pot.
Good idea, Nat.
Good idea, Nat. Mr. Nat. Shmee,
Face
shmee,
reveal
shmee,
alongside
shmee, shmee,
job
shmee.
reveal. I mean, if we get to 2,000 Patreon by FanFest, then of course.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. Get to that goal first. Which one do you think we're gonna get?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be we did the vault, didn't we?
Good in the vault.
I don't even know what we've done. I feel like we've done all of them now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Belsus Wall in absentia for Rollo.
Okay. Okay. Good. So we have that covered.
Do we do some all hard?
I don't think so.
We've
no,
been
we
in
didn't.
some
No,
all.
no, no.
That's my guess.
We
Then
haven't done
some
some
all
all
hard.
Okay. I'm still
I don't
gonna
even know
go.
if that's in there yet.
I'm
That might be
still-
too recent.
I don't know.
Well, it's the same patch as Balesar's Wall.
Oh, okay,
so.
never
It
mind.
is.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all right, we're all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
that's the
go.
last one that we played.
I will go.
We've done
Cutter's
both
Cry.
flowers. Oh, please no.
I could. That was so sincere. I could hear it in your voice.
Please no.
Please. Oh, we're going to Halatali hard, everyone. Halatali hard.
Okay, with
That
that,
Very,
was
very
an
fun.
interesting part of the story. Right?
what?
Interesting part of the
Interesting
story.
part of the story.
let's take a look at the revised wheel.
Ah.
There's now only
What had
4.
entirely hard to do with the Crystal Braves, or was that just a?
That was just an instance.
just an
Yeah.
instance? Okay.
Yeah, where you go get.
It was
Raubon?
just that like Colosseum trial.
Oh
thing.
yeah, that's where they like trap Raubon in a gassing room.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to, like,
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was
Tried to
cool.
Gas Rabon.
They literally did. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
gassed him.
Okay, here is the spin. Let's see what we get. So we can get either no job crystal, no HUD, no OGCDs, or no right side gear.
Ah,
So
please.
let's spin the wheel.
I'm not even gonna jinx it, so whatever.
That sound is very nice. And it is
Anything but no.
no job
Thank
crystal.
God for that.
No, Job Crystal's way worse than HUD.
I hate having no HUD.
No, HUD's the best one.
Oh boy. This is a level 60 50? 60? 50 dungeon.
50,
So
which are
well,
notoriously the most
yeah,
unforgiving and difficult.
and
for no
these
reason.
this has
Yeah.
some bosses that could be pretty mean. Okay, no job crystal.
I mean, we had to play red. May I have to do black mage or thaumaturge?
Should we should probably mention
Shmee?
that we should probably mention that last week's run was cursed.
Yeah.
So
What
we
was
didn't
last week's
finish it. What was last week?
What was last week? Oh my god, we have the worst memories.
Oh, it was
Oh
it was
my
something
god.
early.
Copperbell hard.
Copperbell hard, yeah.
Yeah. We made it to the last boss, but we spent way too long on the first boss.
We memed too much, I think, too. There was a lot. We like fucked up with the lift. You remember that? We were like playing with we were like Sherlock. There was
fun.
a Sherlock theme.
And which we didn't. We abandoned about 5 minutes into the
yeah,
dungeon. It was like, this
completely
isn't
gone.
working. What are we doing?
Scooby Doo. It was just everything.
That was fun.
Everything was
Scooby-Doo.
bad. Everything was bad.
We should have gone with the Scooby Doo thing from the beginning. That would have been better.
That's an idea for next time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be.
If only we didn't.
I'll be
all
Scooby.
that wasted time.
Yeah.
If all we needed was one more attempt at that boss.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah. We could have done it.
We could
What was
have.
the last boss? Oh, yeah, with the worm. Oh my
The
god.
goddamn worm. The thing is, the rocks don't. They don't respawn. So once you run out of rocks, you're
Yeah.
fucked.
And then once I found out they could explode into dust, that was also unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Tried to move them, but if you leave them like not in the sand, they explode. So
Oh, I think they also explode if anything attacks you as well.
They just always
Because I tried to pick one up
Mm.
as a tank because Rolo was on the
Yep.
other side
yeah,
and there was nothing there. So I tried to pick one up as a tank and I walked like 2 steps and exploded my
yeah,
hand.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it does like 90% of your health.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, let's look at some mug mail. We have a lot, so let's take a look. This one's fairly recent and about something we talked about last week. This is from oh, what a name. Kanal Raha from Brynhilder.
Good job.
No.
Hello, speakers. With the Square Enix survey and the discussion of a potential new Final Fantasy MMO, I immediately thought of Yoshi P's recent comment regarding engine updates. He stated that significant engine updates would be considered if they foresee 14 lasting another 10 years. Between these events, I think it is safe to say that Square is discussing the future direction of Final Fantasy MMOs and whether to invest more significantly into 14 with base code and engine rewrites, or begin production on a completely new game. Either project could be a massive undertaking, and I'm excited to see what direction Square ends up heading. My question is, what would you all like to see? A properly evolved 14 free of 1.0 / A Realm Reborn's technical limitations, or a totally new game built from scratch for current or future hardware? Thank you for the great content, and I'm looking forward to hearing all your answers.
Wow. Pretty good sort of insight into it.
Yeah.
Well thought out.
Yeah, it's a good question. And it's on one, like, I kind of, there's always that sadness of leaving an MMO behind. So I would love to have 14 free of the shackles of 1.0.
Yeah.
But
I think I've invested too much in 14. And the only reason I'd like a new MMO is because I could then know I haven't missed anything.
Yeah.
I would make sure that I don't miss anything.
Right.
But then it's also it just makes all the 14 just a waste.
Losing everything that you have done in 14 is.
I mean, that's
it's
kind of always
the
been the problem
nature
with
of MMOs, right?
Yeah.
But
because 14 is an amazing world, and as far as a Final Fantasy game goes, it's one of the best stories. So
yeah.
It's
I want it
definitely
to
the
continue.
best world that's ever been in a Final
yeah,
Fantasy
it's
game.
fantastic.
Blows
So
Vanadil out of the water.
Yeah, it does.
absolutely just update the engine, make it prettier, make it better.
Yeah. I mean, they did say that eventually they want to get work on clipping issues and stuff like that. I don't know if that's still something they're focusing on, but that'd be nice.
Doesn't look like it.
Does not look like it.
But yeah, the dream, of course, is a 14 free of 1.0, but
Absolutely.
the work that is required for that, 1.0 runs so deep into 14, it limits everything, and still I have to give them credit because they have really stretched out what they can do with what they've got. But if 1.0 is not making anything easy for them, and a rewrite would, first of all, it would require a shutdown of the game probably.
That's exactly it. Or at the very least, not getting a few patches.
Right.
Yeah.
So
because they could work on it separately technically, but there's zero chance that we're ever gonna get that alongside of real content.
Because they would then, because a complete rewrite of the whole engine and everything would also require new server structure as well, right? So they would have to. Right. So if they were to keep the game online but with no patches, they would need new servers to test it's a lot of money, of money. So
it is, but so is building a new MMO.
You're right,
especially one that's going to be able to rival 14.
But here's the thing, MAELA, you can work on that with a different team at the same time on the side, right?
Yeah, you can, but I'm not sure I'd like them to. I think 14's team's really good.
Yeah,
I would disagree because
actually,
let's not remember 11's team was really good. Making 11, they were fantastic at making 11.
Yeah, but then
not so much when they went to 14, right?
Yeah,
right.
So it could be that this team will not fit the next MMO at all. It's entirely possible.
I'd like the people who develop the next Final Fantasy game to spend a bit of time looking at all MMOs and see what works for them all and what doesn't.
Because 11 is a very a JRPG slanting MMO, and 14 is a Western slanting MMO in how it's built. And you see, and that's why 14 is doing so well, I guess, because 1.0 tried to be 11, so the next one probably shouldn't try to be 14, right?
I agree. Totally.
But I don't know what should it try to be is the question. So that's the I think the main reason why I think it would be wiser to invest more in 14 to get it up
14's
standard.
got a great base at the moment to work with. Just push it.
Yeah.
Plus, the example they have is one of the most. It's the biggest longevity you can have for a game.
Yeah.
With 11, if I was them, I wouldn't really super wanting to go cancel 14 because 11 is still being ran, and it still is a sub. Sure, not very many people play it, but it's still their highest earning game of all time.
Yeah.
By quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it's probably unlikely that they would just want to throw it away at all.
Right. And we're only on the second expansion. It's already showing signs of 1.0.
Yeah. It's
putting it back a lot.
It's the technical debt that's really now this expansion has really shown it, and they haven't been able to like pay it off fast enough.
And I think that's because they're trying to do new stuff now.
Yeah.
And doing new stuff with a very old engine, not the easiest thing to do, right?
Yeah. And they've been like, I mean, for the story of 14 is very like interesting, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't make a series about it. But like they've been dealt a losing hand, and they just keep getting bad cards all the way. Yet they are somehow able to keep the ship afloat. But I think, you know, eventually, unless they do a big engine rewrite, I'm afraid they might get sucked under eventually. So
that's good. It went from a card analogy to a Titanic analogy.
I wanted the boat one instead. I'm not very good at cards. They were dealt a ship full of holes. That's a better way of putting it.
I think honestly, what we're gonna see is probably what we've seen so far is like tiny fixes over time. Maybe we'll get a DirectX 12 update eventually or something like that, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be more than okay with them to take the game down in order for it to be like so much better. But I don't think everyone would be.
How long?
Yeah.
That's true.
It's dangerous to do that because first of all, you'll lose revenue. You'll cut off your revenue, and that's quite a big revenue.
And if they did that, I would be bored, and I would probably go try other MMOs. Not saying I would switch MMOs, but I tried them. What if I get hooked?
Well, exactly.
You know, it's a kind of a risky move for sure. MMOs are like crack; you can't stop. Exactly.
You know, that's why people play MMOs because you can't stop once you've like once they hook you. So yeah, if they were to do that, they would have to keep this version running somehow, and maybe have like they did with 1.0. I guess.
I don't think Yoshi P is very keen to do that again.
Exactly. That's the next point. Like, no way in hell he wants to do that again. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be we still don't really have to worry. I don't think we have to worry about this yet because we're waiting for an expansion, and that expansion is gonna run its course, and then we'll see. I mean, 6.0 do you think 6.0 is happening?
Do I think it's happening?
This is a scary question. I just realized when I asked it. I mean,
see, I'm pretty sure they've mapped a bit of a future for themselves. I'm sure they're thinking 6 and maybe 7.0.
Didn't he say he had
7.0 is when 6.0 is his end. The end of his arc is 6. 6.x. After that, he will probably step down, right?
From 4, right?
What?
We're on 4 now, aren't we?
Yes.
4 points. Yeah.
So 2 more expansions after that.
So after 2 more expansions, I don't know even if I want to play the game, depending on what direction they take in.
It depends on how
it really depends.
Yeah.
So actually, with that said, if it goes down a dark route and it's just pointless after Yoshi P finishes, then they might as well just make a new MMO.
At that point, it might even feel like it's the right thing to do for everyone.
It also depends on how much of a bow is on the story. If it's done, if it's like a Rhapsodies of VANADAR type of ending, they don't need to. It's over.
Yeah.
I don't know how conclusive he's gonna end it. I assume that's when we kill all the Asians, and it's like Zodiac, you're dead.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do after that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like light wins, and then the world ends, and we have to go to a different world as Warriors of Darkness.
Ooh,
in order to try and bring our world back.
We have to go and be evils.
Yeah.
And that's when we get Warriors of Darkness versus Warrior of Light. We get open world PvP. Oh my god, that sounds so great.
Warriors of Darkness.
Let's split the game in half.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to skip. I'm gonna skip the 2 ones. I think you see why. I think the first one we've already answered before, and the second one as well. Kind of. I also think we've actually answered that one before too, to be honest.
He was a class classic.
It's a nice reference, though. I'll
We
give
should
them
almost
that.
talk. We should almost say that in the post show. That's
Yeah, let's save it for the
Yeah.
post show. Okay, so this one's from Moon Bunny Chan from No, that's
Well,
not you.
That's definitely not.
That's
that person.
that's you.
Nah.
I'll give you well, you got the swoosh.
You
Got
got
the swoosh.
Moon Bunny
Well,
Chan.
let me start over again. Let's do this right. Here, this one's from Moon Bunny Chan from Bauman. And they're saying if I've been I've been greatly enjoying all the videos about 1.0. As before, the only info I could find about it at all was basically simply it was bad or we don't speak of it. I had to laugh when you remarked about accidentally making it look good, since my friends and I had been discussing how a lot of it, at least in theory, seemed like neat ideas. One of the things I'm not fond of about the game in its current form is how static the world feels, and how sometimes outside of my FC I don't even feel like I'm playing with other people. There might be a hello at the beginning of a dungeon and a thanks at the end, and not much else. It seems like with things like regular ferries and airships, they were trying to make the world seem more of a living place, and other content more forced people to communicate and work together. It's too bad it was obviously implemented in the worst way possible, and honestly, I don't know if I'd want to give up on instant teleports for waiting on a ferry anyway. What do you think, and is there anything from 1.0 maybe with some tweaks that would that you think would work well in A Realm Reborn, or you'd really just like to see make a return? Cheers, keep up the good work, and I hope this email wasn't too long. No Mog mail is too long, by the way.
Well, I guess we start from the beginning.
Yeah.
I do think you did make it look too good.
You made it look
and,
great.
and you're the reason that everybody's like, I want 1.0 back. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
The only thing I've done is I haven't really. It's so weird because whenever all the videos that I've made, I'm like, don't sugarcoat this, just say it as it is. But there's this like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, people have this like glorified image. We talked about this in the previous episode when I did the walk, but it isn't. It's not good. It's just that I think it's the fact that it had all this potential, and then people never got to experience it, and they were like, this is lost potential now.
I think it's more, it's like people want what they can't have, right?
Yeah.
If they had access to 1.0, it's not like people would be playing it. There'd be a few people playing it.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be like a lot of people playing it, though.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that everybody wants to be like, well, I want to do it myself. I want to try it.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, you don't.
Yeah. And it's like the game has like good concepts, like Hamlet defense sounds really cool. You've got to all join in together to save this town. But really, when it boils down to it, you didn't really do anything.
There's nothing. Didn't change anything.
What's the big difference if you win or lose?
The
teleporter might not be active for a bit.
The thing that broke, or that sort of, you see, Hamlet defense, you bring it up. It is a system that it's one of the only systems I think would be cool to bring back in 14, because
it would still need a total rework.
Oh, of course, but it was content where Disciples of War and Magic and Hand and Land worked together, and we don't have content like that in 14 right now, and that would be cool to bring back. And the feeling of like defending and supplying a Hamlet, like things would be easier if the supply rating was higher, if your crafters had done enough pre-work and prepped, like stuff like that was cool. And then during the attack you would like give enhancing potions and stuff to other, like and throw bombs or whatever at the other enemies to help the people that were fighting. Like stuff like that is cool. The concept is cool. 14, of course, 1.0 with its very limited engine, with its very limited everything, made everything really like not very enjoyable compared to everything else in 14 today. I think the one thing that also comes back, and I agree with, is 14's sort of sandboxy feel, where you're sort of just thrown in there. And so someone was asking about the story. The story was very thin initially. There was hardly any. and there were no quest markers, like things like that. The map didn't have any markers whatsoever.
It was super similar to 11 in that regard.
Yes, absolutely.
You didn't even. I mean, actually, very similar, because in the same
exactly
way
the
as
same.
11, in the same way as 11, your story wasn't even your story; it was your city-state story
yes.
at first, anyway.
Yeah.
So and sure, they all converge at the end point, but it's like there wasn't really even like an overarching grand story until way later in the game.
Yeah, and there were you were given the link pearl, which was sort of your visual aid. That's how you knew there was a new story quest. If that one started vibrating, there was like a golden icon on your screen. I was like, okay, you have progressed. But there was like you didn't know how far you'd had to progress to get another quest. Like there was a lot of stuff, and of course no quest markers. So they were going for, and that was what I think Tanaka and his crew kept saying even before the release of the game, was realism, realism, realism. That was their thing.
Realism over fun. That's the problem.
That's the problem, yeah. But I do still remember the first time I left Limsa Lominsa, and I just saw the land, and I'm like, oh my god, where the fuck do I go? And that was cool for about an hour, after which the novelty sort of wears off very quickly.
When you're like, where am I in Limsa?
Like,
because I can't tell because everything looks the same. Where am I?
Yeah. He didn't. Yeah, jumping. It's people don't jump.
That's one of the most confusing things about 1.0 is they're like, realism, guys. We're gonna go for realism. By the way, nothing in this game is realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe the physics, small stuff like that. But again, your physics are great. There's no jumping.
Yeah.
You can't walk over a ledge. It's like there's very weird stuff still.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. My god, it's like whenever I think about it, I'm like, there's that nostalgia feeling that you get, so you're like, we shouldn't be so harsh on it. But yeah, no, it wasn't good, and there's a reason it was remade. And yeah, I'm sorry if I made you think that it was good. It was.
You did. You do that.
You made it so good, Mikhail, that I can't enjoy.
You can't enjoy No Realm Reborn.
You made that Skrillex joke, and I was like, I want to play this game.
I was like,
I need to play this game.
No.
If he likes it, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. Is there anything else from 1.0? Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't really want like fairies, scenic fairies, and stuff like that. Definitely not forced. If it's an option, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think 2018 is the time for slow progression anymore.
No.
It doesn't really fit. As much as I know people still love the concept of it. Oh, we can go hang out on a boat together. If that was an option, sure, that's fine. Yeah, that's boring. I agree. But
they
sped it up in 11 for that exact same reason. If you go on a boat in 11, it's like 2 seconds now, and the fairies come every like 5 minutes. So it's not like it's not something that's worth doing anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah. Would like the jobs they never made. Good
Musketeer,
point.
I'm still waiting for
Musketeer, yeah. I'm also curious to see what the original Alchemist was supposed to be, like, how it was supposed to work.
Well?
Yeah, Arcanist was supposed.
How is that supposed to be?
They were
with the weird thing with unscrew and Shepherd. Let's not forget Shepherd. Obviously.
Shepherd. That we know a little bit actually. There were pastures placed all over Eorzea. And we don't know if they were supposed to be like stocked always have stuff in them, but they were everywhere in 1.0. You would find them like near the city states. You would find them in the hamlets. You would find them. They were always empty, of course, but I think maybe you would find some NPC ones. I think, but I think also you would be able to like go out and hunt them, like. And
I assume so.
Somehow have like I don't know if they would have a weapon or whatever, but
I assumed it was probably going to be something along the lines of like skinning in WoW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where, something like that.
Maybe. Yeah, that is possible.
They should make it so you can go around and purchase all the stables, like real estate, and then hire.
Oh, that'd be really fun.
For you.
Do you know what, MAELA? This is a total tangent, total off track thought. But when you saying that, how awesome would it be to have like the a village management mini
Yeah,
game.
Oh
some
my
sort
God.
of yeah.
You
Maybe
know?
when the Doman reconstruction is finished.
I guess maybe they haven't done it because that's exactly like what's that thing in WoW called?
Oh, the
Garrisons?
Garrisons.
Garrisons.
Yeah.
It's really similar to Garrisons. Maybe that's
But
why they
it
wouldn't do
works
it.
so
but
badly in WoW. They could
Yeah.
actually make it work.
I love that concept.
Yeah.
I just want basically what I want is Assassin's Creed 2, where you get to manage the villa. But I just want that in 14.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, just to add to the ferries and the airships,
Wizard 101.
the having the ferries as optional and the airships as optional. I don't understand why that isn't already a thing. Like having them on a fake schedule, even like they don't even have to be real. You can just have
Go
them,
up and then ride it.
Yeah.
Just have them move in the sky, please.
I don't even think I wouldn't even care if we were riding them. I'd also just like to see more stuff in the sky.
Yeah.
Just them going around their business.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I've been on the 1.0 server a few times, and having like the Imperial airships and stuff over Old Dot, like it's so cool.
Yeah,
Just-
it is.
They make a lot of noise, but it's
They
still
are
really
very
cool.
noisy.
They're so loud.
But yeah, I talked about this I think it was on the post show when we premiered the Ul'dah Roar. But that when the moment I saw, while I was doing recording, I saw the 1.0 airship docked in the airship landing, and my first thought is that's just a low poly just thing that's going to disappear if I go too close. It's just going to be one of those. No, all the buildings, everything is, and it was the airship. It was the thing that you went on, and I'm like, oh, why? Of course, that's how it used to be.
Right.
It's a part that we've lost, and it's one of the. I mean, it's completely pointless, but it adds life to the world. It adds life to the world.
About the whole communication thing, though, I don't think there's anything they could do about that. I don't think there's anything that you will do that will make people communicate more. I think that's just the state of people now.
Cross-server party finder has destroyed, like...
I don't even think it did, because what did you do on your own server anyways before they introduced that?
Right.
So it's not like it. I don't think it really.
It's not like it, but it has a bit of server identity, and people had a reputation. It sort of encouraged at least friendliness and stuff.
Sure,
that's true.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just the modern way games are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like making new content to try and make people communicate more. I mean, let's not forget they do technically try that. Every time a new update comes out, especially for the old relics, they'd be like, you got to talk to people, figure out where to get the items. Obviously, no one does that, though. That's not what you do in 2018. Nice. You Google search instead.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's never a reason to communicate in game unless it is hello, goodbye. That's
remember when they did the Valentine's quest where you had to be two people? Remember that?
That was
people
nice.
were,
that was fun.
Yeah, but some people were outraged that they had to be. Do I have party with people? I don't know anyone. I don't want to talk to anyone. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. The world has changed. The MMOs have changed. I mean, you'll still talk to your friends in game. I mean, that counts for something.
You just
I mean, they did say
it's harder to make new friends, I guess. Yeah, that's the main issue, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. We're at the end of the end of time. It's the end of episode 100. A huge milestone for the podcast.
We're never doing another one. That was the last one.
Yeah, surprise. This is going to be the last episode of Speakers of Hydaelyn. I'm very sorry. Thank you guys for watching. But that's a joke, by the way, to the audio listeners.
As well. There's going to be people that will take it seriously. No, it's a joke.
Putting over on
it's not actually over.
Don't worry. I'll give you an E. Just E.
It's just really blown out for me.
Yeah, I know. It just increases your volume. Okay. We'll of course be back next week, same time, same place. Also, if you're watching live, do make sure to watch the post show, which is going to come up right after this.
And I have a suggestion. You should definitely send us mogmail.
Speakersxiv.com/mogmail. Follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV. Facebook.
Shut your mouth.
Twitch.tv Twitch.tv/Speakers of Hydaelyn, YouTube.com/SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord and chat if you want to join our Discord server. Links in the description if you're watching it on demand. Stay tuned for the post show, and also minimum my level tomorrow, 6 p.m. GMT, no, 7 p.m. GMT, 11 a.m. PDT,
An hour
whatever,
before the
an hour before the podcast. See you then. Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.